Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for another power review. I think, though I'm not sure how, but it is the fifth episode, but I think this is the mid-season finale because I couldn't find any information on upcoming shows for next week. So I think it is the mid-season finale. I think there's 10 episodes in this season. So yeah, this is Power Book 4 Force. And it's all about Tommy Egan, if you guys remember. And this episode was supposed to give us all of the feels, right? We've been looking for a little bit more action, gangsta action, and we got a little bit more gangsta action in this episode. Having said that, I will say this. I think I came in on such a high, anticipating with the trailer and the new song. I really enjoy it. Power, Powder, and Respect. Power, Powder, Money, something like that. But anyway, I think I was expecting the season to be just gangster, like gangbusters, like a killer season, right? It was going to give me all the original Power feels. And maybe because I came in on such a high, I have been let down tremendously with this season. Same old, all the bunny trails, all the scabs, all of the things that really don't connect or make sense. And I feel like I also get frustrated when I go out after I do my review and watch other people's reviews. And with the exception of My Twisted Life, she's a scab picker like me. I get frustrated because everyone acts like there's nothing going on. Like they don't see the perpetual elephants in every room of this show. Like, I'm gonna say this. I think it is important that we as a culture do not get so complacent with just being sold or given anything, right? We shouldn't just be so complacent with mediocrity, right? And I just kind of feel like that's what we're getting in terms of storylines, and it's just a very rushed feeling. So now that I've gone on a nice long 3-minute rant, remember to hit that thumbs up button. It helps me in the algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new here. I'd love to have you. And of course, always remember we talk about it down below. Now, speaking of comments, I actually have to check my comments in two places. So sometimes I will check my comments actually in YouTube and respond to you guys. And then other times comments are hidden from me. So I have to go and find them in YouTube Studio. So just be patient, but I do answer all of my comments and I engage down below. So if you got something to say, good, bad, or indifferent, put it down below, you guys. All right. So this episode is called Take Me Home, which is kind of lost on me in a way, but let's get into it. The show opens with Tommy, taking an ominous stroll down memory lane, if you will. He's sort of recanting in his mind all of the things that he's gone through since he's been here in Chicago, namely his execution of Tatiana. And things are just coming to a head for him, especially with regards to the Serbs. When we first got into Chicago, it seemed like there was really no real competition. The Flynn's, in my opinion, have not turned out to be a formidable foe for Tommy. So Now we have the introduction of the Serbs, some 3 episodes into the season. And turns out they're not that formidable of a foe either. So, yeah, Tommy is just running around taking lollipops and pushing old people over. He basically is the mayor of Chicago at this point, right? No one can stop him at this point. But he does seem to have some concerns as he sort of laments over everything that has happened. We get to see where Tommy is driving along. I don't know how everybody knows where this guy is, but he's driving along minding his business, and she pulls her G-Wagon up and rolls down on him, right? He sees her rolling down on him and then swerves in front of him. This is the second time she's blocked him to have a conversation. Why she doesn't just call him up on the phone? Or, she could loiter outside of Gloria's bar at this point and see Tommy. So she pulls him over and she shows him, the product, which they call Dahlia. The new synthetic drug, they call it Dahlia. And she shows him Dahlia, and he was like, oh, it's a magic trick. I'm not impressed. And she was just like, yeah. She's tapping a little bit of Dahlia out and puts a little bit on her lips. And then, she gives him a kiss, and he just, passes out on the hood of his car. And they panning down on him, just kind of spiraling into this super deep highness, right, from this synthetic drug. Now, she doesn't seem to be affected from it. So it gives me the impression that the more you use it, you'll probably build a tolerance up to it, in which case this will probably be a super, super dangerous drug, because the more people chase that high, the less high they're gonna be. So it's going to be like crack and opioids all into one. You know what I mean? It said a lot to me that he passed out, not passed out, but just like succumbed to this drug. This was his initial try of it, but she tongued him down just as much as he tongued her down. And she drove off like no big deal. So either she's built up a tolerance, or this is another, scab, right? You guys tell me what y'all think. Put it down below. So then we see where Tommy is talking to Liliana, and he gives her the sample of the drug that Claudia gave him. And he wants her, he also gives her a rundown of how the drug makes him feel. And of course, she, being a part-time junkie like Tommy, really wants to try it. And Tommy's like, no, just break this joke down, step on it, cut it up, do whatever you got to do to see what it is, to see if we can duplicate it. And like I said, he wants her to try to break down the compound. We get to see where Diamond is on a light jog in uniform. And I say in uniform because essentially Diamond wears the same outfit for every episode. In every scene, in every episode, we have seen Diamond in the same outfit, basically, right? And I only mention this because to me it's glaring, because one of the reasons we fell in love with the Power franchise is because it was beautifully shot and beautifully styled. Tommy, Tasha, Angela, the kids, everybody just always looked really good, really beautiful. We didn't see them sort of in these uniforms like we get to see here on this episode. Everybody's got this uniform on. It's black, it's gray, it's smoky gray, it's dusky black, it's a 1B, you know what I'm saying? We got 1Bs everywhere, right? Girls, you know what I'm talking about when I say 1B. You know what I'm saying? You got number 2s. But it's not, you're not going to get no 1B30 out of these fools. That's not going to happen, right? So we see him running in his uniform. And when Begin Again Seamus Begin Again rolls up on him and basically harasses him, pushes him around, throws him in the back of his police vehicle, and basically wants to berate him about back in '06 when he allowed allowed a bad batch of drugs onto the street that killed like 6 people and harmed numerous others, one of which was Seamus's sister. Seamus's sister has never recovered from this bad batch of drugs. So evidently she's in this state where he has to now basically take care of her. So Diamond admits to that this happened under his watch. He admits that he pulled the drug immediately. And he also admits to the fact that he has more than paid for that crime by doing time in jail. Seamus does not care. Mr. Begin Again does not care, right? He wants to let Diamond have it. He wants to make Diamond feel bad. But then Diamond reminds him, sir, you are a dirty cop, right? You're being paid by the Flynn's. Seamus want to know how you know this. Who told you this? Don't worry about all that. Just know that I know that dirty cops in jail, okay, definitely have a hard way to go. You better keep that in mind. You better also keep in mind the fact that good cops do not appreciate dirty cops, right? So your name is mud either way it goes, sir. Seamus gets mad because he's been one-upped, right? You meant to pull this guy over and make yourself feel powerful by making him feel small, and you end up feeling like the small one. Get out of my car. Anybody knows a police car that you can get out of yourself? Anybody? Anyone? Oh, okay, that's fine. Whatever. Scab lets himself out of the car, walks off. He had a good point. He told Seamus, we've all made mistakes. We all need to move forward, right? Agreed, Diamond. Agreed. We get to see where Jannar and Elijah are counting their day's loot from the night's drug sales. And Jannar is still belly aching. Like, I 110% sympathize with Jannar. The fact that he lost so much, or he gave up so much, and also he's not really getting appreciated. And I think that Diamond is being very dismissive of him at times. I will fully admit to that. But how many episodes are we going to do this belly aching and this whining about how much he gave up and what he built and all of that? I thought you threw the fight on purpose so that you could set your brother up. Why are you still acting like the sore loser in this thing? In your mind, you're the winner. In your mind, you got a game plan, right? And Elijah is sick of it too. He wants him to move on in the conversation. He says, why don't we just break off from your brother and do our own thing? Nah. He's snorting. Jannard is, I ain't leaving nothing. I'm going down with this ship, right? You know what I'm saying? Either I'm going to have it or can't nobody have it. I'll set this muggy duggy on fire first, right? Okay. All right. That's fine. But once again, it's just more of this. He's obsessed with Tommy, and he just refuses to move on. Even in his own gig. Right? So we see where Merkovich, who is the supreme ruler over the Serbs, is there to sort of, I guess, take some revenge for what happened to Tatiana, right? He knows what happened to Tatiana. And he wants them to find Tommy Egan as soon as possible. They keep bringing up St. Patrick in reference to Tommy because Tommy was St. Patrick's sidekick, So St. Patrick, you hear St. Patrick and then Serbian, and then Tommy Egan, right? It's the rhetoric, right? And there's a guy there who's like, screw Tatiana, she was weak. He gets shot in the head, dead immediately, okay? Walks to the guy just behind this guy who's covered in this last guy's brain matter and says, do you have a problem? Like, are we going to have an issue here? Or are y'all on board with what I need to do to Tommy Egan? And everybody's like, whatever you need, man, let us know. We're here for you, right? And he was like, yeah, bring me Tommy Egan. And yeah, we're going to get rid of this SOB, right? It's a good moment. It gives us original power vibes where heads were severed, pinky toes were cut off, and nobody played any games. Nobody played the radio. Like anybody could get it, right? It wasn't this cat and mouse, people just barely skip by type situation. Like anybody could get snuffed, right? All right. I'm getting the feels. We see where Tommy and Liliana have begun to grow close in the drug game, right? She's kind of stuck at his house. She's like a nagging wife. You know, every time he comes in the door, she's just like, can I have some Coke? Please, can I have some Coke? Where you been? Why you leaving me here? I want to go out. I want to do this. You never give me anything nice. You never take me anywhere. You know, it's just this weird dynamic. And for whatever reason, Tommy feels obligated to keep her safe. And he tells her the Serbs are after you. Why don't you take the drugs and go somewhere? I'll set you up somewhere. I don't want to be set up, right? I want to be with you. Me and you is like brother and sister now. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, we shall never part, okay? So, yeah. And he is just like, okay, that's fine. Do me a favor. Stay here. Keep trying to break down the compounds of this of Dahlia, and don't go out of the house. That's the only way I can keep you safe. And she's like, cool, no problem. Okay. We see where Claudia has a problem with Mai Tai questioning her queen pen skills, right? Once again, right? Oh, the honeymoon is over. It's weird. The minute they started the scene with Claudia using an ice pick to break up a block of ice, I was like, who is doing that? What is this little house on the prairie? Like, where did you get this block of ice, sis? And an ice pick? Like, who? What? Girl, just head down the Quick Trip or Racetrack and get you a whole bag of deliciously crushed ice. Like, I don't get, okay, that's fine. But like I said, anytime you see an ice pick or knives in any scene, it's probably going to be a part of the drama. But I digress. Like I said, we see where Tommy has talked to Diamond, and he is selling running down on the Serbs, right? He wants Tommy and Vic to bring their gangs in with him, because he's a gang of one. Bring all y'all gangs in to be a gang behind what I got going on, and let's take out the Serbs, and then we'll take over the Serbs distribution. And then not only will we have the CBI's part and Vic's part, but we also will have the Serbs part, and that will give us a larger piece of the pie against all the other drug dealers that are out there. Okay, plan sounds ingenious. Let's do this. So like I said, he sells running down on the Serbs to Diamond, and voila, Diamond is into killing again. Remember, he started the season off saying he's not into that killing ish anymore. He decides, hey, can't beat him, might as well join him. I'm killing again, right? Just like that, the storyline kind of flips. Vic is in on the game as well, and all three agree to split the profits at the 33% each, and they begin to stake out the Serbs and see where, you know, they are, how they're moving, all of this stuff, right? Everybody knows where everyone else except the Serbs don't know where Tommy lives. It's odd. Claudia can find Tommy anytime she wants to, yet the Serbs don't know where to find Tommy, right? You got a whole house over here that used to be a firehouse right over here up the street. Like, what is okay, but it's fine, whatever. We see where Diamond takes Tommy's advice and brings Janara in on the agreement. And, Jannard is pushing back, but Diamond sells it. Diamond really sells it and says, we're getting 34%, right? I guess the extra 1% for him is because of Jannard. I'm not sure. but we're getting 34%. You do the math on that. I got more years behind me than I do ahead of me. We need to make quick work of this drug game, because after a while, we're not going to be able to do it. We need to come out on top of this thing financially. So when the day comes that we need to bow out of this joker gracefully, we can do that with some loot. And they hug, they shake, they agree upon it, right? Jannard cannot argue with the numbers. Plus, like Tommy said, bringing Jannard in was a smart thing, because if he hadn't done that, he was going to have to worry about Jannard being out there either talking too much or making moves against him. So that was smart. Like I said, Liliana's at Tommy's house, and like a nagging wife, she can't figure out the new drug, and she wants to leave. She wants to hit this drug, and she wants to leave. Like she's getting cagey, especially since she can't figure it out. And she tries it 5 ways to Sunday. Tommy once again reminds her to lay low, and stay low. We see where Vic and Simon go over all the benefits of getting in with CBI, and Tommy and making moves on the serves. And Simon is sold into this whole thing, right? Each one has talked their crew into signing on with this. Everybody except Tommy. His only crew is Liliana, but he is working very, very hard to protect Liliana. So we see where Tommy goes to see Claudia, and they agree on a 60-40 split, 60 being for him as the distributor. Now, I thought she had this guy, Reggie or Gregory, or whomever this Hispanic Latino guy was, that she got the suitcase of money from. I thought he was going to be a part of her distribution chain. But now let Mai tell it, she doesn't have a distribution chain. They're just sitting on these drugs and no way to distribute them. It's a little contrary to what was told to us last week, what was shown to us last week. But it's fine, whatever. Okay, let's all act like we don't see it. Okay. Nothing to see here, right? Yeah, so 60 for him, 40 for her. But first, they need to do a little bit of a double cross. Claudia basically sets Mai Tai up, right? She gets the barrels of Dahlia, and gives the guy the, I guess the shipping list or whatever, to put the stuff in storage, to store them. I don't know, whatever. Tommy robs the guy, right? Takes the barrels of drugs and pays the guy off, essentially. It's a caper. It's the first Claudia Tommy caper we get for the season. We see where Liliana, in true junkie fashion, just has a small smidge, a corner, a teeny bit of Dahlia left, and she's bored. It's not really enough to test. She's tested 5 ways to Sunday. Until she gets a fresh sample to test, might as well taste the product. And she does. She pours it out and sniffs it up. Apparently, you can ingest it any number of ways, except it doesn't absorb in the skin, because she's rubbed it on her fingers and tasted it. I mean, I don't know how it exactly it's supposed to be transported. Maybe smoked. She mentions that to Tommy. Snorted, obviously. And obviously, if you ingest it in your mouth and swallow it, it's supposed to give you this high. Anyway, she snorts it, and immediately she just gets this whoa. Anything like that, I'm afraid of. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, I'm not into any type of thing that's gonna just like completely shift my entire being to the point where I gotta find something to hold on to. Like, your girl's not interested in any of that, right? And you can't sell me nothing like that, right? Okay. Anywho, what does she do once she hits it and she feels that wave, that rush of high? She grabs her jacket, she heads out the door, right? That's what I'm saying. The Serbs could have just knocked on the door. They really didn't even have to knock because Tommy's place is not locked. You know, it's like Tariq's dorm room. Anybody can just walk in. She just walks out. She doesn't even close the door. Thank goodness the door closes by itself. And it's a barn door. Closes by itself and she walks out, right? Leaves the house. We see where Vic goes to see Gloria and he takes her to, she's very excited to see him. Now, this is completely opposite to what we saw in the first and second episode, where she seemed like she just abhorred Vic. She didn't want to be involved with Vic. She was upset with Vic. She was done with Vic, which is why she was letting Tommy hit the meow anytime he wanted to, right? Like she was looking to do some new things, right? Even when Tommy said it's about business, I'm not fit to mess with you no more, she was super disappointed. But now she's got Vic at her door and she swings the door and she was like, hey, what you doing? Yeah, he was like, come take a ride with me. She was like, I don't know. He's like, come on, take a ride with me. I'll have you back in time for the dinner rush at the bar. And she's like, okay. And so he takes her out to this big plot of land. And she's like, why am I here? And she's like, smile, smile, ear to ear. You silly boy, why am I here? And he is like, this is all ours. I bought this land for us. I'm going to build us a house on this land. She was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, what do you think? And she was like, what do you think I think? And this is amazing. It's wonderful. And they kiss and lock lips, baby. And he puts on the hood of the car. And right then and there, he decides he is going to lick the kitty cat, right? You know, stroke the meow. And that's what he does. Unbeknownst to both of them, in a field far, far away, there is Paulie with a long range scope taking pictures of them doing the do on the hood of this car in the middle of this field. Okay, Walter. We then see Walter gets to see the pictures and Walter is pissed. Walter's like, this guy, what am I going to do with this kid? He doesn't follow instructions. And Paulie's like, kids don't always listen to what you tell them to do. Walter's like, my kid's going to listen. Your children might be all junkies and strung out and hard-headed, but my kid's going to listen if I got to snap their neck to make them listen. So like I said, he is disgusted. So he runs down on Gloria. He goes to the bar, he and Paulie, they kick everybody out and he's going to have a conversation. And I will say in this moment, I was so frightened for Gloria because he pulls her close and talks right in her face. And I thought for sure he was going to smash her head over and over and over again on that bar and kill her. Right? But he doesn't. He just low-key threatens her and blackmails her and tells her she is beautiful. She is a force of beauty, but she will never, ever, ever be with Vic. And she will never, ever, ever use them beautiful lips to kiss a son or a child that she has by Vic. You know, it's best for her to name her price and move on and leave Vic alone. Right? And she basically is frightened like I am and pulls away from him. After he pulls her close, she pulls away from him. And I was like, girl, stay back, girl, stay back. You don't know what this saltine is capable of, ma'am. And so he goes on to threaten her, and he starts coughing, you know, cough, cough, cough. And she's like, and of course, when he starts coughing and wheezing, the threat lessens a little bit in her mind, a little bit. For me, it did too. But he puts his glasses on and he grabs the whiskey bottle that he was drinking. And I was like, oh, girl, he is finna slam this bottle into your face, girl. Run, duck. She jumped too. But he takes the whiskey bottle, coughing and wheezing, and heads on out the door. When he gets out the door, we see where the FBI people are watching Gloria's bar and watching Paulie and Walter leave the bar. And they sort of hone in on Paulie as the in into the Flynns. In other words, they feel like they can flip Paulie and have Paulie rat on the Flynns. It's a moment. We see where JP is spending all of his waking hours worried about fixing up Granny's house and Tommy. He is looking at old videos, old photos, finding Tommy in the old photos. You ain't got no information whatsoever about your son. You're not even remotely trying to look up your son and see what's going on with your son. I thought they were showing us this moment because it was going to be this moment between looking at a picture of his son and realizing that his son is the guy that was outside of the bar the other day. I just knew that this is what was going to happen. But no, it ends up with him seeing Tommy in the background scene of a photo and going, Tommy. You know, I'm just like, it's so stupid. The whole JP situation is dumb. It's dumb. If you guys can tell me what value that JP adds to this story, to this season, I'll accept it. I look forward to it. Please put it down below. If anyone could explain to me the value that this JP storyline brings to this season, I mean, I'm willing to listen. I'm open to it. So, yeah, it's a ridiculous moment and a useless waste of storyline and time, in my opinion. We see where Vic goes in to see Walter. He's pissed that he threatened Gloria, and Claudia is there. And Claudia is trying to kind of calm it all down, but Vic is on one, and Walter tells Vic that he'll never have, he's going to wake up next to a good Irish woman and not this other woman, not Gloria, And Vic said, how did that work out for you? And when he said that, Walter got so mad and hauled off and backhand Vic and cut his lip. And Vic leaned up tasting that blood. It was just like this was the straw that broke the camel's back, basically. And Claudia is upset and she runs after Vic and tells her dad, he's not like you. He's not made like you. I'm like, you got that ice pick, girl, because your dad. Anyway. So, we see where the gang, CBI, Vic, and Tommy, they're all locked and loaded and ready to go. We also see where Liliana has been miraculously captured by the Serbs, and she is being held and tortured by the Serbs. They basically break her finger all the way to the back. I thought they broke her arm, but they must have broken her finger, because when they keep asking where Tommy is, where can they find Tommy? I'm like, ask Claudia, because Claudia can find Tommy. I mean, everybody know. Okay, it's fine. Y'all, the biggest drug it's fine. It's okay. So they break her finger to the back, and she uses this moment to take this broken finger and basically give them a big old FU with this broken finger. And it's supposed to be like this boss gangster moment until later on towards the end when we see there's nothing wrong with her hand at all. But I digress. So like I said, she's being lightly tortured. We see where Claudia decides she's going to approach Gloria and get Gloria to disappear. And she tells her that she knows that he bought land for them, and the land is worth $2.5 million. That she'll give her the deed to that land, right? You can sell it, take this money, and start new somewhere else. And Gloria is just like, you got some nerve. You just as bad as your daddy. Matter of fact, you worse than your father. She was like, I'm your friend. Claudia was like, I'm your friend here. She was like, you ain't no friend of mine. You just as bad as your daddy, if not worse. The only difference is he's sick. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't long for this hurt. And Claudia's like, excuse me, what are you talking about? Gloria was like, Bill, get the duck out of my bar. You know what I'm saying? It tosses Claudia out. I was like, you Flins get zero respect. Y'all supposed to be top billing in Chicago. And you can't find nobody to get these ninjas no respect. You can't find them. Not in Chicago. Okay, so we also see where um Tommy's Claudia, this what she did was, when she got Mai's the dahlia stolen from Mai Tai, it sent Mai Tai to this place where she was like, the drugs are gone. Like, I lost the first load of drugs, right? Like, she had a complaint. Her initial complaint with Claudia was that she didn't have distribution. Now she don't have drugs to distribute. And this is what Claudia's saying, was like, I don't know. I think this is why you need me, babe. And she's like, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I'm done with your games. Obviously, I messed with the wrong Flynn. I'm outie. And Claudia's like, wait a minute. And she hauls off, baby, when I tell you, and wow, whack, slaps Claudia hard across the face, baby. Claudia said, woo. And she looks up, and Mai Tai is like, I'm out of here. Screw you, you filthy witch. She walks out, and next thing you know, she get an ice pick straight to the spinal cord. Out of here. You're done, right? You're done. Rockabye, Mai Tai. Rockabye. It was a good moment. It was a good moment. I enjoyed it. I don't know what's up with all this Asian hate on Power, but y'all know they don't allow that. Y'all know they don't allow this Asian hate. Now, first it was a chef. Now it's Mai Tai. It's looking real suspicious, Courtney. I'm just saying. But still, it was a good moment, right? So then we see where Tommy and the crew push ahead on the Serbs, and in the melee of the shootout, we see Simon and Elijah both get killed. Now, Simon is Vic's boy. Elijah is Jannard's boy, right? Jeremiah, aka Elijah, gets shot in the carotid artery of the neck, and he is out. And Vic takes Simon very, very hard, and Jannard takes Elijah dying very, very hard. He's the only one that knew everything that Jannard was trying to implement against Diamond and against Tommy. He's the only one that really listens to all of Jannard's belly aching. Jannard took it especially hard that Elijah was a casualty of all the melee. The shootout could have been a little bit more spectacular. It just never really kind of manifested in that way, because they're having the shootout in like these really super small spaces. So it kind of looks a little bit like laser tag to me, and therefore it's not as entertaining. But it's a shootout nonetheless, right? The Serbs take hit after hit after hit after hit, and except for these two little casualties, basically Tommy gets an opportunity to just basically take the Serbian forces out, right? Like Superman, right? Like Batman. Okay. He's just so tremendously formidable on these Chicago streets, right? Invisible. No one can locate his lair. And the bullets, he's impervious to bullets, so it's working out great for Tommy. As he goes through all of the process, he's desperate to find Merkovich, who is the head guy. Feels like if he gets rid of him, then he'll really be done with the Serbians. He'll really, cut them so deep in Chicago they can't recover. And when he gets a call that Liliana has been captured by the Serbs, and Merkovich has her. And so at the same time he learns this, he learns from CBI, who's had their casualties, and Vic, who's had his casualties, that he's on his own to get Liliana. We agreed to help you take the Serbs out. We did not agree to go and help you. You on your own helping Liliana. Now, Diamond, did he help you get Jannard back? But I digress. So he races to save Liliana. And they basically are going to meet him at his house to bring Liliana. So he's rushing there to get to Liliana, right? Get there. and they got Liliana, and she's there, and Tommy's like, let her go, and he's like, I should kill her and I should kill you, but we still won't be even, would you kill Tatiana and all my men, and Tommy's like, listen, let me have Liliana, you know what I'm saying, and let's talk about this. It's me you want, give me Liliana and you take me, right? And in this moment, a truck comes around the corner, and Tommy's like, get down, everyone, including you Serbs who I want to kill anyway. Get down. And the guy comes through and shoots up, and Tommy is shooting after this truck, and so are the Serbs, and he grabs Liliana, and the Serbs jump in their truck and they drive off. Zoom. And Tommy and Liliana's like, you're bleeding, Tommy. And Tommy's like, oh, this ain't my blood. He looks down, and Liliana's been shot in the shoulder. It's through and through. You'll be fine. Let me just get you inside. And so he helps Liliana inside. We then get to see this masked man covered all in black and gray, the uniform for the season. And he set the SUV that he's used to do this drive-by on fire and thrown this clothes in there as well. Not sure who's going to be looking for it. You didn't shoot up the police station. You shot up other criminals. So it's okay, whatever. And it's Gennard. And Gennard turns around and does this sinister spin, and he has this sinister look on his face. Like he is on this vengeance rampage, murderous. Look out for Gennard. I'm going to be a formidable foe. Now, 6 episodes into this season, I'm about to wreak havoc. Really? Okay. And that is the end of the episode. What did you guys think of the episode? I mean, do you guys see the scabs? What are some scabs that you see through this whole episode? Again, we see where Liliana's got this. She survived the Serbians now twice. They're so ruthless and so brutal that initially Diamond didn't even want any part of it. But Liliana, who has been snagged up and tortured by them now twice, has basically come out of this thing completely unscathed. I mean, her finger isn't broke anymore. It's magic, right? Like at this point, her whole hand should be swollen. But no, she's perfectly fine. She's just got this wound in her shoulder, which it's through and through. You're good. You're Gucci, right? Like, let me just get in here and get you a Band-Aid and kiss it up to God, and you're going to be fine, Liliana. Like, it's so miraculous, right? And the fact that Tommy's impervious to bullets or brutality in any way. I mean, you guys tell me if you see it. Maybe it's me. Do you feel like I am just looking too hard? You feel like I should just try to enjoy it for what it is? I mean, I'd love to hear your feedback. I mean, I am genuinely frustrated with just how little is put into the storyline. So, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all put it down below. Listen, until next time, honeybees. I'll holla.